federal judge ruled in favor of Harvard University after students filed a discrimination case. We break down what this means.
Activists gathered for a rally to support funding for probation programs. We talked to the organizer of the event.
And a new USC study shows how families in Mexico City use their mobile devices. We spoke to a researcher to find out more.
Annenberg TV News is coming up right now.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
A federal judge ruled today that Harvard University does not discriminate against Asian American applicants. Good evening, I'm Robby Aronson.
And I'm Jamia Pugh. The ruling comes after a 3-week trial back in October 2018. A group called Students for Fair Admission excused the Ivy League college of deliberately holding down the number of Asian Americans accepted in order to keep a certain racial balance on campus. U.S. District Judge Allison Burroughs today said Harvard's admissions process is not protected, but she said it did not show racial bias. Schools, she said, have a, quote, compelling interest in diversity and all the benefits that flow from a diverse college population. But the president of SFFA, Edward Blum, says, quote, Students for Fair Admission is disappointed that the court upheld Harvard's discriminatory admission policy. We believe that the documents, emails, data analysis, and depositions SFFA presented at trial compellingly revealed Harvard's systemic discrimination against Asian American applicants. The group representing the Asian American students says it will appeal the decision. Legal experts predict the case could end up in the Supreme Court, which last ruled in favor of affirmative action back in 2016.
We have breaking news. DPS has just released a report that reveals that number of reported sexual assaults allegedly committed by former USC gynecologist George Tyndall. DPS says there were 68 reported rapes and 4 reports of fondling. Annenberg Media received the report less than an hour ago. We'll bring you more details on uscannenbergmedia.com. And now President Trump wants the name of the whistleblower who revealed information about his phone call with the Ukraine president. But so far, whistleblower protection law is keeping the person's identity secret. The whistleblower's confidentiality is protected by the law, but there are 4 exceptions. 1, if disclosure of the information is unavoidable to an investigation. 2, if there's imminent danger to public health or safety. 3, if there's imminent violation of criminal law. And 4, if the Inspector General is compelled to by court order. Now, Republican Senator Chuck Grassley put out a statement saying, quote, this person appears to have followed the whistleblower protection laws and ought to be heard out and protected. We should always work to respect the whistleblower's requests for confidentiality. Any further media reports on the whistleblower's identity don't serve the public interest.
I'd like to tell you that I never feel pressure. I have lots of people who'd like to put pressure on me here and abroad, but I'm the president of an independent Ukraine, and I'd like to think, and my actions suggest, no one can put pressure on me.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo accused House Democrats of intimidating and bullying members of the State Department, and for now is refusing to let the 5 members of the State Department appear before the House committee. The chair of the House Foreign Affairs Committee said any attempt to prevent the department officials from speaking is, quote, illegal and will constitute evidence of obstruction. There will be more on this story in the coming weeks.
A group called LA Youth Uprising urged the County Board of Supervisors to create the nation's first probation oversight committee.
We're fighting to make sure that money goes to youth development and community and reentry and rehabilitative support for adults to stay out of jail, because right now the way probation functions, it's a trap door back to jail.
Organizers complain that the county has been mismanaging the money allocated for the probation department. The department has a budget of approximately $1 billion. It is the largest probation department in the United States. In 2017, there were $150 million unspent.
This is going to be the first time anybody will be able to oversee probation or actually look into probation as in a microscope. So everybody's looking at California right now, so it's a great start, and we have one of the largest probation systems here in LA County, so it's a great start to start off so people can pass on the torch.
The LA County Board of Advisors voted to approve a motion to create the Probation Oversight Commission. It will advise the probation department in policies, budget, and operations. Community members in a South Central neighborhood are angry about the closure of a library. For many, it's one of the only safe places from violence. Annenberg Media's Tanvi Varma takes us to the front lines of the protest.
This is Ashley Arona's second day protesting outside of what used to be the Florence Library. A few months ago, the building was demolished for an affordable housing unit.
There's still a lot of violence prevalent in our community, and it's literally a safe zone. So for them to take something that a lot of community members utilize, not just as a material resource, but as a safety zone, it definitely affects us in a negative way.
Instead, the community where Arona has lived her whole life was given a temporary trailer.
We have the Florence Library Express right now, which is located at our local park.
This is the park, and this is the library.
And a lot of people don't think that that's necessarily a good place for a temporary library, because Roosevelt Park itself is known as being a not so safe park either. There's a lot of transactions that happen, and it's also on gang boundaries.
And the new library's small size means fewer resources for students.
I have family members who don't have technology, who don't have Wi-Fi, and the library was kind of their go-to when they needed things like that.
Less than a fourth of people in Florence Firestone have a high school diploma, and less than 3% have a bachelor's degree. In response, Supervisor Mark Ridley Thomas's office says, given the state of the emergency around homelessness, however, we must also prioritize affordable housing. The protests will continue for the rest of the week from 6:30 to 8:30 every morning where the Florence Library once stood. For Annenberg Media, I'm Tanvi Varma.
The LA County Board of Supervisors might join a lawsuit challenging the Trump administration's new limits on resources to immigrants.
It's a rule that, yeah, maybe it's a confusion for so many people, and it's increasing the fear for seeking something that they are eligible for, and it's just creating commotion and stress in the community families.
The administration's rule changes would make it harder for certain immigrants and green card holders to access public services such as food stamps. Board members Hilda Solis and Shyla Kuhl introduced a motion to oppose the Department of Homeland Security's rule change. Reverend Jesse Jackson stopped by the Board of Supervisors meeting and spoke to our reporter.
The immigration policy is immoral. We're in the path with the civility and the path with the citizenship. Right. Babies in cages on the border is a moral disgrace, so we should resist it legally and in the streets at every level.
The board plans to decide in the next few weeks whether to join the lawsuit or file their own.
Teens in Mexico, ages 13 to 17, and their parents use mobile devices more than any other country around the world. A new study by USC Annenberg and Common Sense Media shows many people feel addicted to their phones. The study found that 50% of teens in Mexico feel addicted to their phones, compared to 39% in the U.S. 2 out of 3 teens and their parents use mobile devices almost all the time, and over 75% of participants feel distracted daily by their mobile devices. I talked with a study researcher who explains some of the findings.
So in the cross-cultural comparison, also considering that the other studies were developed before, so maybe with the rise of social media, this also has a direct impact on the perception of distraction, or maybe they're more aware that they're being distracted from their everyday life.
Annenberg Dean Willow Bay released the study results today in Mexico. She will return to campus later this week and continue to talk with Annenberg Media about the findings.
You may have noticed a rise in gas prices. We spoke to South LA residents to see how they're dealing with it.
A new report shows red meat is actually healthy for you. We spoke to a nutritionist to find out the truth about this.
And a cannabis cafe opened today in West Hollywood. The owner talks about their new business.
Encuentra el bosque más cercano en descubreelbosque.org. El bosque, más cerca de lo que crees.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere will bring us wireless emergency alerts. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Hey, Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
I'd love to, but I'm pretty busy with all this.
Yeah. Hey, let's meet our retirement coach, Avo. A is for taking action.
Not anxiety?
No, Kevin, you're gonna be fine.
You sing?
Barely. V is for variety.
And you dance?
Sort of. Come on. O is for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice.
Thanks.
America's first cannabis cafe opened today in West Hollywood. Customers lined up outside to be the first to try it. Customers can either choose to smoke cannabis while they're eating at the restaurant or eat infused edibles. The cafe is only allowed to serve cannabis-infused edibles made by outside sources. The cafe owners say they cannot serve any cannabis-infused food made at the cafe.
I think it's just going to normalize cannabis consumption, and once we're able to see that it's really no different than having a glass or bottle of wine and enjoying a nice meal, I think we'll see more of these come online. And that's my hope anyway.
The cafe hopes to jumpstart a wave of other places like it and normalize cannabis. Customers seem to enjoy the experience.
I probably see it becoming a trend, yeah. Like probably even dispensaries on the side, or maybe like vending machines like that, something that they could just get more customers in, because I mean there's a line out here, so I'm pretty sure people want this to happen.
The cafe is also a dispensary, and you can order weed just like a glass of wine. Joints can even be rolled at the table by the flower hosts. No cannabis served is allowed to be taken out of the cafe during dining.
A new study shows meat is actually good for you, which makes burger lovers very happy. But where does this information come from?
Well, I mean, with our particular restaurant, since we advertise ourselves as, a burger restaurant, I think mainly people come here for the red meat. But we do sell a lot of Impossible burgers. I think with their growing popularity, a lot of customers come in and order it.
Wahlburgers is a popular burger joint at the USC Village, and while they have vegetarian options, customers prefer their meat burgers. While this recent study shows that meat is healthy, USC professor Mariana Stern says otherwise.
They're not looking at any new studies. It's not a study that is supported by the major public health organizations, the World Health Organization or the World Cancer Research Fund or the American Cancer Society. It was done by a private organization on the fact that processed meats are bad and red meat, you should eat it in moderation.
We all love a good burger. Maybe we should treat ourselves to one every once in a while.
I love a good burger, but the USC Panhellenic is hosting its first woman empowerment panel with a very special guest speaker. Annenberg Media's very own Cecil Hannibal is live at Bovard Auditorium to tell us more. Cecil, what you got for us?
That's right, Robbie. I'm here in front of Bovard Auditorium where a very special guest is in the building tonight, USC President Carol Folt. She is the keynote speaker at the First Women Empowerment Panel. Now, President Carol will be with 5 amazing authors, founders, and business leaders. That's Kylie Hughes, Lauren McGoodwin, Francesca Cavallo, Lauren Berger, and Megan Gibson. I'm here with the event organizer, Inez Ramirez. Inez, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
So tell me, why was it so important for you to have an event tonight about women empowerment?
We, as the Panhellenic community, just really believe in the power of women in leadership and how much they can influence younger women, especially the young women of the USC community here, and that's why we're so excited to have such incredible leaders.
And so you guys don't have just any regular person. You have President Carol Folt. Mm-hmm. How important is it for you guys to have her at your event tonight?
It's really just an incredible and very unique opportunity. She was inaugurated less than 2 weeks ago. We're one of the first student orgs that she's partnering with, and we're really excited to see how much she interacts with the students and the tone that she sets for the rest of the year.
So are you excited for the event tonight?
Very much so.
Thank you so much, Inez. Well, you guys heard it here first. The doors open at 6:30. The event is from 7 to 9, and after the event, they're planning to have a networking reception so people who attended the event can have one-on-one time with the panelists. Right now, I'll send it back to the studio live from Bovard Auditorium. For Annenberg Media, I'm Cecil Hannibal.
Wow, Cecil, that sounds great, but you know, the weather outside, it's been a little colder lately. I wonder what's going on.
I don't know. I'm excited for the chill here in LA, but let's see what's actually going on with the weather. Sarah, what you got for us?
Thanks, Jamia. So happy October 1st, everyone, and luckily we have great weather here at USC to complement the great start of a new month. Nice 75 degrees outside with sunny skies looking at that condition. Weather is going to vary a little bit in the Inland Empire looking at tomorrow's forecast. Tomorrow we see higher temperature up in the Palm Springs area and lower temperature in the Big Bear Mountains. And then looking over into the San Fernando area, it's also going to be a little bit cooler. Moving on to the valley, temperatures are going to stay around a mid-80, although they dip a little bit in Malibu. Overall, pretty clear. And then moving it back on over to USC for tomorrow's forecast, also staying pretty much in the 80s, lower in Long Beach, a little bit lower in LAX, 84 in USC, and then a little bit more inland, we're going to get a little bit warmer. And then moving on to the 5-day forecast, clear skies seem to deem true with 84 on Wednesday. Weather dips a little bit on Thursday and Friday and kicks back up just in time for the weekend. And vegetarian food options are a great way for USC students to participate in environmental sustainability. The university offers an array of plant-based foods from restaurants like Greenleaf, Sun Life, and Kava Grill. If you're looking for a quick bite, Trader Joe's has salads and wraps. Thankfully, the university tries to cater to students with dietary restrictions or those looking for a leafy meal.
I really like how many vegetarian options there are on campus, but I wish the university would be more aggressive in pushing those options just because a vegetarian diet is much more environmentally beneficial than, say, recycling.
Now, Sarah, you told me before the show that you were a vegetarian. What's that like, you know, living it on Vegetarian Day?
I am a vegetarian on National Vegetarian Day. I feel very empowered, you know, plant-powered, that is.
Listen, I love a good burger, but I mean, I'm with you on the green. Salads are my thing here and there, so I'm with you there.
We got a lot of contradictory today with the hamburgers and that one story and the vegetarian one story.
What do we eat? Who knows? But anyway, today LA drivers are paying a whopping $4.11 for a gallon of gas. That's about 50% higher than just a month ago. Gas prices in California increased by almost 7.5% in the past week, while the national average remains unchanged at $2.65 per gallon. Analysts say these high prices are primarily caused by maintenance issues at the Chevron and Marathon refineries in LA County, as well as a shortage of imported gas. Unhappy commuters are finding ways to cope.
Fucked, you know, working every day for your money and then gas prices keep going up and it's like, no one wants to see that, you know. I might start driving a little less, you know, take a bike, skateboard.
I feel terrible. I mean, it's getting my pocket right now and it's hurting our community because money that we could be spending on food, water, and other necessities that now we have to spend on a higher price of gas. Just have to keep paying the higher prices because where I'm going is nowhere near.
Here's my longboard. I take it out my trunk whenever I, get places. I use this to come down the street. More convenient than having to use my last $5 just to, make it home or make it to the store.
Prices have been increasing every day in Los Angeles for the past 2 weeks, and drivers are wondering when it will end. Well, guys, how about that unfortunate loss to Washington this past weekend?
There was an unfortunate loss to a very good team, but now with the bye, what's going on with us for sports?
Guys, coming up, well, USC is taking on Notre Dame after this bye week, and the NBA's biggest stars weigh in on the recently signed pay-to-play bill. Find out what has Draymond Green so worked up. Plus, former Trojans are quick on their feet. We'll recap the track and field world championships. And who is QB1 for the Notre Dame game? We'll tell you what Trojan is taking the field next in sports.
Hi, I'm Smokey Cole Bear, filling in because for 75 years, Smokey only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
Meanwhile, the song was wrong. We did start the fire. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy. You, your plumber.
Breathe right into your foot.
Your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hat person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
We have an update on the Kedon Slovis situation. The freshman quarterback's dressed in pads for practice today, so it appears he is cleared to play. We'll have more on football later in the show. California State Bill 206 has been passed, allowing college athletes to be paid for the use of their name, likeness, and image. Governor Gavin Newsom put pen to paper and signed the Fair Pay to Play Act alongside influential athletes like LeBron James, Ed O'Bannon, and Caitlin Ohashi on James's HBO show, The Shop. Here's why LeBron's in favor of it.
If I went off to any one of these, big-time colleges where pretty much that 23 jersey would have got sold all over the place without my name on the back, but everybody would have known the likeness.
James is one of many athletes in favor of the bill. Draymond Green and Steph Curry made their support for college athletes known during Golden State's Media Day. And the Warrior Power players say the NCAA has too much power.
It's a great day for everyone because I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of seeing people get ripped off. I'm tired of seeing these college athletes being ripped off.
I love player-friendly things that put people in positions to be successful and to get what they're owed and deserved.
The NCAA is not happy the bill passed, sending a letter to Governor Newsom earlier this month calling the legislation unconstitutional. Nonetheless, the bill goes into effect in 2023. Allison Felix is fighting on at the IAAF World Championships. The former Trojan won her 12th gold medal, breaking the tie with Usain Bolt for most world titles. USA emerged victorious during the first World Championships, mixed gender 4x400 meter relay, which makes its Olympic debut next year. And Felix did it all just 10 months after giving birth to her daughter Cameron. Joining Felix in world-class accomplishments, Rai Benjamin earned silver in the 400 meter hurdles. The former Trojan graduated last year and is running in his first World Championships. Benjamin dashed to the finish line and silver medal in 47.66 seconds. Now, let's toss it to Jordan to see how the USC is holding up in the NFL.
The Trojan alumni in the NFL continued to impress, and this week was Rojo's turn to shine. Ronald Jones II has been enjoying a breakout sophomore season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Ronald Jones with a touchdown for Tampa Bay.
Rojo scored his first TD of the season as Tampa Bay completed a huge upset on the road against the Rams, winning 55-40, giving LA its first loss of the year. He's rushed for at least 70 yards in 3 of the first 4 games. In his return to the Coliseum on Sunday, his 70 yards were more than his rush total all of last season. Keep making USC proud, Rojo. From the NFL to college, it's bye week for the Trojans, and as of yesterday, Kedon Slovis was just medically cleared to practice, and that leaves Matt Fink, who had a less than stellar game against the Huskies on Saturday, maybe a starter, maybe not. The QB play this season has been the definition of inconsistent, with both Slovis and Fink showing promise, but also making costly mistakes in key drives. Now let's take a look how both have performed so far this season. Through basically 2 starts each, Slovis has thrown for 658 yards, 5 passing TDs and 3 interceptions, while Fink has thrown for 514 yards, 4 passing TDs, 1 rushing TD, and 4 interceptions. With the annual matchup against Notre Dame looming, if the Trojans in the air raid offense look to compete with Brian Kelly's unit, both quarterbacks should be expected not only to play, but play a whole lot better. So, Lauren, who do you have as your QB1 going into the game against Notre Dame?
You know, Jordan, I'm sticking with Fink. I think
Really?
he's done us well so far. Hear me out. The Trojan community is overreacting. Fink lost to a ranked opponent away. Last time Kedon Slovis was away, he lost to BYU, and I don't think the teams are comparable in skill set and strength, so I think Fink is our leader come Notre Dame.
But you don't like that Slovis magic that we saw against Stanford? Stanford's a really good opponent that we always play. They're one of our rivals. There's just some magic to him. Fink, that Washington loss that really made me not believe in him as much.
Fink showed his magic in the Utah game. Come on, 351
I can't get behind it. I can't get behind it. I can't do it. We'll see what Helton and Harold decide to do next week. Robby and Jamia, back to you at the desk.
Today is International Older Persons Day, and the USC School of Gerontology hosted events all day.
We spoke to people there about what they see in store for the future.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
Today, Annenberg Media is reporting that DPS is cracking down on parties near campus. This is in response to LAPD's loud and unruly gatherings ordinance enacted in April of last year. Our reporter talked to Greek life leaders for their reaction to this new ordinance. For more on the story, go to uscannenbergmedia.com.
And it's a day to celebrate older people in our lives. USC's School of Gerontology organized a range of activities, musical performances. We asked a professor and others about what the future holds.
I would definitely recommend, and this is coming from your retired faculty and staff at USC, number one, save your money. Number two, enjoy life the best you can and get to know as many different people you can.
Sleep well, eat well, exercise hard, and keep a positive thought.
I'm older. I would like to be treated with respect and with love, just like everyone else wants to, I think at any age.
So to be honest with you, the main thing is about social engagement. I don't want to be 75, 80, 90 years of old, sat on my own. I want to be out there. I want to be just as inappropriate as I can be now. I want to go out and have fun with my friends. I don't want there to be barriers.
Professor Nash speaks for all of us when he says he hopes to go out and have fun with his friends deep into his old age. And you know what, guys? I will say, when I'm getting older, getting up there in years, I don't want to be done partying. I want to keep doing my thing. I don't want to be looked down in a certain way. I think it's great that we celebrate this.
I don't know. I'm still young, but I feel kind of old, and I am done partying, so I'm an old soul. I don't know.
All I have to say is I didn't know it was National Older People's Day, but I'm very happy I gave all my grandparents a call this morning.
I should do that. I should do that. I'm going to text them right after this show.
Yeah, that would be a very good idea. Actually, my grandma texted me this morning. But that's it, Grandma. If you're watching, thank you for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Robby Aronson.
Hey, Mom, if you're watching me, hello. And I'm Jamia Pugh. You can watch us on the web at uscannenbergmedia.com. Good night.